Microsoft has just released their new IT support professional certificate, beginning a competition with Google in the process. The reason why the Google certificate is so popular is because up until now it's actually been the only option. But Microsoft knows what they're doing, and they perfected this one to perhaps be the best IT support certificate on the market to help you get a job as a beginner fast. In this video, I'll go through everything you need to know about this new certificate, and we're also going to compare it to some other options to make sure that you're spending your time on the most useful course. And spoiler alert, because I know you guys have been waiting for this, yes, this one is definitely worth it, but in this video we're gonna find out if it's the best option for you. And you don't want to spend all this time and then realize that you spent it doing the wrong thing. So this 5-minute video could literally save you months of your time. But you could also waste it if you skip this video. So drop a like and subscribe, and let's begin our investigation. Alright, so just as usual, this one is available on Coursera, and it's just been released, so it basically has no reviews so far. But from the people that actually took it, it sounds really good. It does have a very high rating. And it's also worth noting that Microsoft, well, they've done a lot of courses in the past and they're very well established, so they wouldn't really, want to ruin their reputation with a bad course. And that is why I think it's worth taking, even if it's really new. And in this case, it's also a plus because less people have taken it, so it means that it's still relatively, unheard of, which means that you'll be able to stand out if you complete this course and actually get the certificate. Now, if we talk about the basic details, it's completely beginner level and no degree or experience is required to make use of it or to start it. And it is 3 months at 10 hours a week, which is significantly faster than the Google course. It's basically half the time. And we're going to take a look at the course content later and see why that is, and if it's a good or if it's a bad thing. The objective here with this course is to help you launch a career as an IT support specialist and build job-ready skills for an in-demand career. You can actually enroll for free and try it out, but if you do want to take the different exams and also get the certification, then you will have to pay for a subscription. They do also offer financial aid, which you can request if you want to get the course for free or for cheaper, and I'm also going to make a full video on how to do that if you cannot afford the course. So when it comes to the actual skills that you'll gain, you're going to basically learn how to succeed in IT, systems analysis, and maintenance. And you'll also be able to demonstrate a holistic understanding of IT support, which means that you'll be able to understand all of the different parts. You'll be able to combine hardware, software, networking, and security concepts in problem solving. So basically, they're teaching you the core areas of IT and how to work as an IT support specialist. You'll also be able to work with more specific things like data backup, cloud computing, and mobile device management to practical IT scenarios. Because the entire goal of the course is to teach you the fundamentals and then teach you to apply them to real IT problems so that you both have the knowledge but also the, actual practical experience and the ability to apply them to a real world scenario where somebody needs your help. You will also be able to adopt some diagnostic skills to diverse IT issues within a practical business scenario. And basically, they're just saying that you should be able to help people and apply your skills to solve their IT problems. The core skills you'll gain in this course, if we list them by Microsoft themselves, would be software configuration, network, protocols, computer hardware, cloud computing, and also troubleshooting. And that's pretty much the entire thing of the course. And when you complete the certificate, you'll also receive the final piece of paper at the end, which you have to complete all of the courses to receive. And then once you do that, you can actually put it on your LinkedIn, you can print it out, or just do whatever you want to. The final certificate is going to say Coursera and also Microsoft, and it looks very similar to this one. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about resources, and when you do complete the course, you also get access to some career resources. I wouldn't say that it's anything crazy or extraordinary, but it does include some resume reviews where you can get help improve your resume and your profile in general, for example on LinkedIn. And you'll also get access to an interview preparation platform where you can kind of do mock interviews and prepare for different scenarios, which can actually be very helpful and help you nail the interview. Another huge bonus is that you'll actually get 50% off the MS900 certification exam by Microsoft. This is a real certification, so it's not like a course or something that you take, but rather you just take an exam and then if you pass, you'll be certified. We're going to talk more about this one later, but it is a huge plus. So let's quickly go through the professional certificate in detail. And there are actually 6 different courses, and you do have to complete all of them to get your final piece of paper. The first one is called Introduction to Computers, and you'll basically learn about computers. And then we have Introduction to Secure Networking, and then Essential Aspects of Software, Hardware, and Data Backup. And then in course 4, we move over to Cybersecurity and Privacy, which is really important right now with all sorts of new threats, especially in the age of AI. And then we have the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, so they're basically teaching you their own tools. You're going to learn how to work with Office applications, collaboration tools, and different cloud-based services, all provided by Microsoft. Now, generally, I'm kind of suspicious when a company is using mostly their own tools in their own course, but I would also say that there are so many companies using these Microsoft tools that having them in your skill set is definitely going to be an advantage when you are looking for a job. And, for example, when it comes to cloud, Microsoft Azure is one of the most popular platforms, so it's not like they're just throwing in something that's not relevant at all. And finally, we have technical diagnostics and troubleshooting techniques, and it's basically just how to solve different problems and scenarios that occur when you're dealing with IT support cases. Now, some of the content is not actually available yet. That is because it's such a new course that it's not been released. But when you're watching this video, it's probably not going to be an issue for you, but you may have to wait a few weeks to enroll in the final course. Now, I don't think it's going to be a problem because you're still going to spend some time to actually, get to that final course. And by the time that you're there, it should have been released. Now, this is probably one of the most important things in this video, so if you only take one thing away, you should definitely remember this part. Before you start a course and, learning IT support skills, you should know if there are going to be jobs in the future. I gathered some data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics to show you how it's going to look like in the future, or at least the projected growth, as well as any other information you may want to know before you get started and spend all of your precious time in this field. The median pay for a computer support specialist is around $60,000 per year in the US right now, and it's really important to know that the range is pretty wide. And if you do get more specific and to go for the more specialized roles, you can also make a lot more money. And there are an estimated 914,000 jobs in 2022, which is a lot of them. And that means that regardless of where you live and regardless of where you want to work, there's probably going to be an IT support job available somewhere in your area. That's a great thing, because if you're super niche down and you're working some really specific job, you may have to live in a specific city or a certain place, but there are going to be IT jobs available literally everywhere, both remote and also on site. Now, when it comes to the projected growth between 2022 and 2032, it's estimated to be around 5%, and it might not sound that high, but it's actually faster than average, which I do think that it's a good sign for the future. It's not amazing like 30% or something like some crazy number, but for a field that's already well established, it's a pretty good growth. They do also mention some information about people having degrees or not having degrees, and you can definitely get a job even without a degree, especially if you've taken a bootcamp or you completed a course. But if you don't have a degree, it's going to be even more valuable to have a certification. And that's what we're going to talk about next. So I remind you of the MS900 certification that we mentioned earlier, which you get a discount on. This is a beginner level certification and focuses on the different Microsoft 365 tools. The skills measured in this exam is basically your ability to describe cloud concepts, describe Microsoft 365 apps and services, and describe security, compliance, privacy, and trust in Microsoft 365, as well as describe the pricing, licensing, and support. The price in the US for the final certification is going to be $99, but it will depend on your location. And also remember that you actually have a 50% discount coupon after completing the one on Coursera. The professional certificate, or the course on Coursera, is also going to help you prepare for this one, but I would still recommend that you check out their exam preparation guide to make sure that you're not missing anything, because we don't know exactly since this course is not fully released yet. Now, let's compare this one to the Google IT Support Certificate. And I could spend a whole video just talking about this, so I'm just briefly going to mention the most important things that you should know to kind of compare these two courses. The first one is the length, and if you look at the estimated time to completion, the Google estimates it to be 6 months at 10 hours a week, whereas Microsoft's estimated to be half at 3 months at 10 hours a week. This means that you'll spend half the time on the Microsoft certificate compared to the Google one, and I wouldn't say that these estimates are always exact. I know many people that completed the Google one in 1 to 2 months, or even actually a few weeks, but it's still a good indication that Microsoft is supposed to be shorter. There's also a difference in the focus or priority of these courses. They are spending a very similar amount of time on concepts like networking, but Google is spending way more time on cybersecurity in their program compared to Microsoft. If you're more passionate about cybersecurity, then Google is a way better option because they're spending so much more time on it. Microsoft is spending more time on their specific products instead. So if you're looking to learn more about the Microsoft ecosystem, I do think that it's a better option to go with the Microsoft course because they're just focusing so much more on it. But the most important thing when picking a course is the feel that you get from the course. Everybody's different and they have different things that they prefer. What I would do is just give them both a try and, take the first few lessons and see what you think. It's still such a new course that it would be a shame for me to just tell you that this is the best one or that this is the best one, because they are both great options, but it's really up to you to give them a try. I'll leave a link to the course in the description if you want to try it out for free, and I'm also going to try to include any ongoing discounts or anything that is available right now. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.